going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Who knows how many is going to show up? I know it's peak drafting season right now. I know we got MLB night slate, but there's not much on the app of Underdog Fantasy, so figure this was a good time. We are going to right off the bat. We're going to be hopping in and doing everything that is PGA on the Underdog Fantasy app. I mean, who else? Who else is going to be doing that? But the Badge Bros and myself. It's been a while. It's kind of the return of the Neumy After Dark streams. I'm excited. I'm amped. I'm ready to go. This is going to be really fun. As I'm just going to kind of show off my strategy and how I kind of go about these contests. One caveat, two things quick off the bat. My internet, you all know that. There's going to be one time where I pause, maybe twice. Hopefully it sticks together. We hang in there. We got some an Excel sheet kind of up here. Hopefully this doesn't end up just being overloading it. Other thing, it is peak zoomy season for the cats right now, and the animals in the house, and he is meowing and doing all that. So apologize if you see him jump up here and I'm like shooing away and just trying to get him and you hear me out. Anyway, the caveat also to the Underdog is we only have round one contests. We don't have a 4-round tournament. I don't know when or if we're going to get them. We have had our best ball tournaments that we've been drafting in the Albatross. The Albatross returns. Hopefully we get the Pup Cup soon, which is the FedEx Cup playoffs. Y'all can let me know if you want me to talk about kind of my teams on there and kind of go through them. I've specifically, I know we're again, little plug here. Check out in the link or in the description below, we have a link to the Deposit Kingdom Discord in which you can find these nuggets and people working for Underdog themselves, Red Mamba, letting us know that likely the best ball is going to advance tomorrow. So that's a very handy thing. Again, join. It's in the link below. Join the Deposit Kingdom Discord. Click that. You can go to the Badge Bros channels, and we have a whole tutorial on how to navigate that in there as well. So likely we're getting those. You can let me know if you want me to check those out. But I'm going to be going over, again, just everything that we have for these specific contests. And I'm just going to talk basically what to do first and kind of how I go about that and kind of maybe how the rounds differ or the versus first round. So let's kind of just jump right in. And the first thing that I want to do is this is where it gets sketchy when all of a sudden we share the screen. I'm just going to do the window. Hopefully that brings up there. Perfect. All right. The first thing I want to touch on is there are a lot of great resources out in the industry. Again, I touched about this is going to be Underdog specific. So you can go find specific PGA betting. You can go find DFS content. You can go find fantasy, anything that has to do with the PGA space and golf space at all. You can go find it in Stochastic, Roto Grinders, ETR. Guys like Rick Run Good, Pat Mayo have great resource and content. You can go find specifically for those sites. Here, we're going to be Underdog. It's going to be Underdog specific. Everything is going to be tailored towards there. So things you might be hearing, if you are in tuned with that, if you are into these and you're looking at that, it's all going to be tailored to here. So it might be a little bit different. But the first thing that we can do is kind of talk about how the first things we want to do, just like we did in MLB, like we did in the other things. What are the first things we check out? Let's see here. Oh, let's first check on the chat. First, we got John checking in at like 5:30, letting us know Corey Connors no matter what. If I could draft Corey Connors, I would. He would be a nice option in the middle and basically in the first 2 rounds. He is not in the field, sir. So I will not be drafting that. Brad checking in. What's good, brother? Yeah, Connors. And then Buck and Smoot checking in. What's good, brother? Yeah. It's again, if you guys want me to check out my teams, I don't have any advance. I can just show you that. We can always check on that. Probably after or before I get diving in. But I mean, let's dive in right now. The first thing I'm going to be doing is checking out the course and the weather and why that can be important, especially for round one, is right off the bat, we don't have any data coming in besides what you're getting from DFS sites and round one. They don't focus on round one showdown specifically, which would be on DFS sites. Everything you're getting is for a full round tournament, which is we don't have here. We're just getting the scores for the first round. A thing that I like to check and just cross-reference are you can go to sports books and look at the odds for first round leader on something you can that's very handy. You can check out just to literally see what sportsbook in Vegas thinks who has the odds there. Now, the next thing that I like to do is just get a course, basically get what course are we looking at here? We're going to be doing the Charles Schwab Challenge at the Colonial Country Club, which is going to be in Fort Worth, Texas. It's going to be a shorter track, 7,200 yards. Is played 10th toughest on the course. I'm just going to kind of breeze through some things on here, really not go hone in, just kind of show you this. But this is what I'm looking at. What I do want to say is, like I told you for resources here, Tyler Tambolini puts out here his Tambo's Tidbits, which is everything you need to know, basically kind of reading up for the content for this tournament for that week. So check this out. Very fun. This is that's where I'm getting this from. Again, right here is it's Toe Tag and Tambo at Twitter. Check that out. This is what I'm looking at. Just to get a quick reference of what we're looking at. It's 10th toughest hole or 10th toughest course on the PGA. We're looking at a tree-lined basically fairways. It's a parkland course. A lot of green, a lot of trees everywhere. It's going to be, we're not looking at a links course, anything coastal, anything like that. We're tucked in Fort Worth. Greens are small. You're going to have a small landing zone to get on there combined with the small fairways of basically 27, 29 yards average. We're looking at 28 yards for the fairway width. What this means is now we're starting to get into like how we can use this data, like you just use this basically, and for course comps for players. And this is important for round one and this show specifically, or just not the show, but what you're going to be doing on round one. And what I like to be doing is because we don't have data, strokes gained data, to be able to kind of go off and hedge and the market as updated and changed. A lot of the projections right now are tailored towards a full round tournament projections. Basically, the course features a lot of dog legs, angles. People are going to be hitting less than driver off the tee. Shot shapers. Again, this is in Texas, so the winds can come up and be a big factor. Ball striking is going to be a premium, which we got here, which is going to be strokes gained off the tee and approach. And then we're looking at only 2 par 5s on this course. I think it's hole 1. I could be wrong. It's one of the 2, but I'm fairly certain it's hole 1 is the easiest of the par 5s, and which you can get on. Most people can get on there too, depending your length. First hole, but then you get into it's called the horrible horseshoe. You can guess what it is. It's holes 3 through 5, and they've played basically a half stroke over par since 2003. I already can hear the computer starting to hum. So again, bear with me if any lags happen. Just let me know in chat. 2 par 5s. We already said that. And it's bent grass green. So we can kind of look into that. But now that I got a course, you guys can check that out. The next thing that I'm checking out here is weather. You can play splits. You talk about when you get wave advantage and all that. Basically, it's really helpful just to know the weather of an advantage. If in that day, does the early wave in the round get an advantage? It's going to be very helpful in showdown. My first resource I'm checking here is Kevin Roth, best in the biz. He's out for the week. Just letting you know that this is an option, and this is what I'm normally checking here. I'll zoom in, but he will return next week. So just wanted to let that know that is an option there, and that's one of my go-to resources. Let's see here. Next. Now, this is where I'm going to get into this a little bit. If you have, I'll say the next thing you want to know, and this can go along with the weather, will go along kind of with the next thing that I have with, do you have projections? And here comes the guy that's absolutely crazy right now. Just needs to go everywhere and just do his thing. But we're looking at, this is called Windfinder. I can put the link in the chat. I can make a little pinned message in the Discord. Either way, I can make this accessible for anyone. You can check this out. And then I just go to the super forecast. It gives you a very in-depth look. And the reason why we have the Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base in Fort Worth, this is the closest and that we can get for a reading to the golf course. So we're looking at here of winds at a max of basically 7 to 9 this week, or 7 to 9 tomorrow. Miles per hour, like throughout the day, and then gusts early in the morning. We're looking at the same thing kind of Friday with gusts early in the morning. So do with that with what you will. I would say if you're looking at 20 to 25, something up like here, and then it gets very down, that's when a wave split can get in. This is kind of marginal, doesn't really push any needle for me. Now, what I will say after that is, the reason I asked if you have projections. If you have projections, definitely use them. You're paying for them. If you have any of the things that I noted before, whether it be stochastic, RG, ETR golf, use those. They're going to have great stuff. If you don't worry. Don't be afraid. We got a free resource here that's going to help you out. If you just want to just kind of casually research, even if you don't, just know that this is at your disposal, and it's datagolf.com. It's just datagolf.com, and you can check everything out here for free. I have it on. Let me zoom in. I have it on night mode. I'm not going to get screamed at, but you can kind of check out. One of the things I have here is basically, is this like, where does this course fall on predictivity? Basically, year in and year out. Here we're looking at Augusta National. Makes sense. It's the Masters. How do people play well year in and year out will kind of help to deal with projections. You can weight them a little bit more. Here at Colonial Country Club, you can see it does matter a good bit. So just weighting that in and knowing basically people's course history is a little bit of an edge. You can kind of see here guys like Jordan Spieth, Chris Kirk, Brian Harmon. You can just kind of see how the performances here boost them up and what they're giving for their little rating. Now, the next thing I definitely want to say you want to check out is the course fit tool. Really awesome tool just to check out what kind of course you're shaping up with. Now, I told you small course, tree lined, greens are small. If you kind of put that together with what we're looking at here, it's you don't have to be super long at the tee. You're looking for guys that can make basically on their second shot, get on the greens. We're looking at approach, and then we're looking at a putting. For me, that's what I'm looking at here, and it means is that bombers aren't as important. We've seen bombers win; they've cut the tree line. I've known. Just going to let you know that like Scotty Scheffler, Tony Finau guys have basically been very aggressive and tried to cut off dog legs. That has been in the past. You reading up to this, they're looking like they're going to try and make that basically toughen up the golf course, make it a little more tough, and try and mitigate that. So if that is the case, this makes it so you don't really accuracy after tee and distance is something I'm looking for. If anything, accuracy after tee, total driving rather than distance. And then I'm looking for approach around the green, more so looking for approach than around the green, and then putting is kind of how I'm looking out. And the reason, again, why I'm just touching on this real quick is how this shapes up to just the round one contest specifically. Just knowing this in the back of your hand, how these plays, these specific skill set of golfers that I'll end up naming off here, kind of ranking and showing, can play an advantage in these, because right now, again, you don't have any data. And on Data Golf itself, what I'm talking about is you'll get basically round one data, and you can look at that and add up and it kind of deduce basically who's overvalued and undervalued for the underdog market. And I'll get into that tomorrow, specifically how I do that. We don't need to do that now. There's this round one show, but just letting you know that's a free resource on here. Again, historical data for this course specifically. You can see that the event average for this course, strokes gained approach, a little bit more important than strokes gained approach for the tour average. Same thing with putting or strokes gained off the tee. Less important, a little bit more important, or less important for strokes gained off the tee. A little bit, tiny bit, 1% for putting. So you can kind of look at that and add that up. And then you can also check out golfers and where they're gaining and their strokes off the tee, and how we're looking at basically their stats. Well, you would look at anything else, you'd see where they're gaining and what golfers fit up for this. So free resource. If anyone doesn't know Data Golf, it's there for you. I can kind of give you how I look at that. This is just a course table, but this is all there for you on that. Now, last thing I want to say is I did put out a tweet of basically my like late round targets. And a lot of these guys happen to be with basically course fits. It is a bit of a stronger field after a major and then sandwiched in between what they call now designated events. So it's going to be where the top of the top played. I think you can only miss one. Roy's missed two, but it's basically the star guys have lined up for. They have bigger purses, bigger events. All of them, all the top tier golfers are competing there, and that's what the PGA wants, rather than people picking their spots and the fields aren't as strong. So this being sandwiched in there and having a little bit of a stronger field it's pretty fun. It's a really fun track as well. So these are some names to look at. Now, I've named that up. I'm not going to go in depth with this. You can do this. You can check out your resources. You can listen to the data. You can find out your own. but just know these tools are at your disposal. You can definitely have these available, and it's very handy. We're going to go straight to Underdog. I have rankings here, and we're just going to go like this. We're going to take them out, and this is what we're looking at for the ADP. So what's really fun also with Underdog is I'm going to refresh because it is past that time. Oh, that's fun. That's fun to see a little. We're getting fun stuff there with no MBA. But we have a 9-man, or sorry, we have a $9 12-man draft, and we also have a $5 standard 6-man draft. So I love that they're experimenting with this and giving this. They tried this out during the major last week. It was great. And then we're gonna talk about those as well. But my strategy for round one, I'll go in there and say this is it is just completely, we have to take advantage of the randomness, not only of golf and how variant it is, but being the first round and we don't have any data. You can kind of take advantage of ADP. And I like to sometimes I'll start in my portfolio, kind of throw it out the wayside, and I will, of course, like there's certain golfers that I kind of up to a tier that I want. But once we get to maybe the mid range, I'll end up throwing guys from the 30s and make a 4 out of my 6 golfers in that range, especially for round one when we don't have any strokes gain data. I'll find golfers that I think are undervalued due to their course fits and projections just in general, and I'll try and capitalize that those are going to be the guys that skyrocket up for round two. That's how I play the contest. Again, it's just that's what I feel is my best way is find course fits. Quick deep dive of the colors. You can see how it is. Find course fits for players. Find out which ones are nice course fits that are just undervalued. You can couple that again with whatever sportsbook odds you want to kind of cross-reference that. Super handy stuff. I will say real quick here as I'm just talking up a storm. Who would have thought, right? We have a friend of the show, Chris, aka Baseball, is hopefully going to be helping me out. Not hopefully. I believe we're going to be in tandem and got a little irons in the fire and something that we're going to be working on specifically for. I'm just trying to get that. He is just not going nonstop. Yes, I'm going to lay down. Thank you. For this specific underdog format, we're going to try and capitalize and get something going specifically for underdog golf. So just letting you know, irons in the fire there. Yes, you can probably imagine it revolves around a sheet of some form, but little irons in the fire there. It's going to be a little more in depth than just one static sheet. But I say it's no better time. I've wasted 20 minutes. If anyone has any question in the chat, please ask. If I've gone too fast, please ask. Let's just go in and draft some teams. That's what the people want. Let's zoom in a tad bit and let's go. So again, I don't have my rankings in here anymore. What I'll do right off the bat, well, actually, I don't even need to do that because I'm going to show you in the queue. We got FF Engineer in here, the OG himself, and then, the boys, RT99, Afua Yama. Someone got to tell me how to give me the alliteration of this name because I don't know it. And in my mind, I pronounce it different every time. And then, I just call him goat powder, but it's like not even that. It's grower or something. I don't know. It's hilarious, but yeah, typical boys in here. It's going to be fun. Let's do this. Now I will just say names that, again, I tweeted here that I like kind of off the bat, just mixing in, Brian Harmon, Christian Bezaden, who, like, again, if these aren't names, you're not familiar with them, that's okay. Like you don't need to be familiar with them. Again, they're chess pieces to a game that we're using. We're just using these guys to score fantasy points. That's really the goal. So use data golf, use those resources that I was showing you. You can find guys that basically like, let's see, course fit tool. I'll go back here. So we can see Andrew Putnam, another guy I really like. Christian Bezaden, a guy I like. Ches Reavie, a guy I have written down. Guys that just fit this style specifically and that maybe are undervalued because like they just don't. Like Brendan Todd is a guy, the Todd father, gets absolutely demolished in tracks. Let's see if I can type in Brendan Todd. Just to show you what I'm looking at here. So we're looking at cut in a PGA championship. That course did not fit him. And then we have some good finishes in some courses you would kind of expect him to play well in. Cut. Like these are just not good. His style does not fit a bomber track whatsoever. And we just look at kind of what he is good at. And normally when he's doing well and it's not at these bomber tracks, it's approach and then putting. And what did we talk about? Approach and putting. So finding these course fits. And he's a great name in the back end of drafts that I'm kind of targeting. He's slowly moved up. It's not in like the 30 range, but I think another guy that I really like, Denny McCarthy. Another guy I really, really like. Let's see if we can just kind of show his. And again, this is what I'm showing you, what I'd be doing on like any other source or source here. We can just find it here. He's been in really good form too, which is fun. Last missed cut is in February at the Honda. And then we're just looking at, I mean, he's one of the best putters on tour. Pretty sure his bent grass splits. And that's another thing. We're playing on bent grass greens, which can matter. I'm on the clock here, which is fun. We're not going to do Denny. So we're going to go with Justin Rose and Max Homa. Now, this is what I would say. Like, what's the strategy in these early rounds? Depends your portfolio. If you're doing 5, I think you can do, I think anything fits what the portfolio strategy you want. If you're doing 5, you can come in here and play the strategy that I like to do. And that's add in maybe 3 to 4 guys that are lower in ADP, where you're just getting guys. If you're at this comes back around and I'm sitting at the 18, 19 pick, 3-4 turn, rather than grabbing the guys in that range, I thrust up, dare I say, Brendan Todd, Brian Harmon, Sepp Straka, Taylor Moore. I just thrust them up because that's going to instantly make me unique. And being golf and being variant the way that this is, it's I think a perfect way to play this in a draft style format. I mean, the projections like that, the projections are just, they're not going to be there. They're not going to be, you can kind of throw them to the wayside versus you can for like an NBA. And even more so MLB, as we like to say. So I find that very fun. You can do that style. Now you can also just kind of stay tethered to ADP. There are plenty of I would say the best like kind of golfers up there when you're looking at a DFS projection are going to be the guys at the top of the ADP, but they're not all going to play well. And there's going to be guys that just outperform their ADP. And it's give me these course fits, give me a bunch of options and a bunch of different ways to kind of get to that first place prize, and being I think it's 4,200 people in this contest. So give me a path to first that isn't going to be, it's just going to easily shoot me up there. That's something I really, really like. Let's see. So you can do the same thing. You can employ what I just did there. I love Brendan Todd. I'm probably, if he falls Denny McCarthy, I know these guys probably like Denny McCarthy too. Denny McCarthy goes, wouldn't you know? I'm on Kurt Kitayama. Eric Cole is definitely a question in terms of if you're in the golf space. He's been hot recently. His fields have probably been a little easier than others, but you can't deny his strokes gain stats and what he's been doing out there. So, I mean, those are good scores for the PGA Championship. Don't let that distract you when you're coming in here and you're looking at a guy that maybe wasn't at the PGA Championship. So, because these scores, those 20s were pretty good. So let's do Kurt. I like the way Kurt. Like I'm just gonna get exposure to these guys, and let's do what we did. Let's send up Brendan Todd, 5 spots, and then next one we can just go straight guys in 30 ADP, and you can even find guys. I mean, I bet there's guys off the top of my head, 1, 2. I'm talking guys with no ADP here that I would even be interested in throwing shots at. Like that's what I'm talking. That you have the ability to do that. You really do. Rob asks here, do you ever weather stack? Which I definitely do, but I brought up this week. I can get the weather back there. Give me 1 second. But we did not look to have any weather stacks. That's going to basically be important. So let me bring that back here. Yeah. So let me zoom in. Super forecast. This is what we're looking at for weather again, Brad. And I do, but we're not going to be doing that this week specifically, or this round specifically, with what we're given here. I think that's marginal. I think depending specifically to the player, depending how it goes. But yeah. And these Michael Block questions, I will not be rostering Michael Block to put that kindly. I would honestly, if there was good, like I don't have any faith that no one does. It's a fun Cinderella story. The dude's been on radio and every podcast, anything you can imagine content wise since he was doing that, since he basically is done. So he's got to be exhausted in general. Again, fun story, but yeah, no Michael Block for me. I will not be burning that money. Let's see if I can show you a board. Now, again, the streaming of the PGA, it gets like, okay, what are we doing? We're going to do this over and over. I get it. There's not a strategy. You don't have the fun of basketball, but there's things to be had. Like you can find just me putting this out there so you can see the ability of because tomorrow I'm going to come back here tomorrow at 6:30, maybe 7, maybe 8, depending on when we can get. That's hilarious. All right. Really, I was just cue up Bo. Let's do. Did anyone take our boy Ches Reavie? No, they did not. So we're gonna go down to a 35.8 Ches Reavie, and we're gonna go down and do Akshay. Fun. Okay, you're instantly getting unique. I mean, course fits. Very good course fits. Especially if I were to go look at, I believe it was just right here, the course fits tool. I thought Ches kind of showed. Yeah, there we go. Ches Reavie, who would he's up there in the top 10. So, he's not going to pop. He's not going to be someone that you're just going to immediately going to go. But I'm going to mix in these guys. I like to get uncomfortable, and I think that's the way to play on these especially showdown. I mean, we're not even talking a full round tournament. We're just talking showdown. Ches Reavie could go out there and shoot the lights out. 6 birdies, maybe it's 6 birdies and a bogey or something like that. Next thing you know, he comes out and he misses the cut. That happens so often in golf. So that's where we can, again, tomorrow we'll be able to look at these guys and you'll be able to be like, I'll be able to show you and implement how I kind of take. Now we have data and people are hyping up these players. They're hyping up basically the guys that did very well, especially guys who putted the lights out very well, gained all the strokes putting being one of the most random stat. It's truly, you can take advantage of these ADPs and they're really fun once we get like right now. I'll be totally honest. Like I play smaller volume than I do on rounds 2, 3, and 4. Another caveat, round 4 is no finishing position, unlike there is in other DFS showdown like sites. No finishing position does not matter. Strictly just score again. So which is really, really fun. But a caveat to know, if you're looking at DFS sites round 4 scoring, they're gonna a lot of times incorporate finishing position. Oh, I see a lot of Akshay talk. Yeah. Let's see if I can show you. I'm gonna butcher his name. Oh, cool. Autocorrect. This is Akshay. He is the size of me, Nez, in stature. Yeah, very skinny, lengthy man. But I believe he won. Yeah, he won the Corn Ferry Tour, and then he's a very young, very good amateur. So I know he's a pro now. He's not even an amateur, so he was. But yeah, Hope chiming in, loves Akshay. Yeah, like I'm gonna get exposure to these guys that are way at the back end that people just aren't clicking, because if people are clicking in this draft style, the same guys over and over again on the top, there's gonna be landmines. If I'm getting a landmine with guys that are barely owned, that's fun, or that's fine. You know what I mean? Like, but if I can fade some of these guys up at the top and they get landmines and everyone's just stagnant while I have guys that go off, it's the relative value. Yeah, skinny as golf, anyway, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, he is. That's a really good shout. Really good shout there. I go golf YouTube. I'm assuming you're a golf YouTube nut like myself, and it's so much fun. So much entertainers on there. Like actually pros going on there. Max Homo is just one of my favorite guys on tour, let alone just yeah. We got RT doing his standard thing. Come on, RT, push the plane. We know the movement. Don't take Scotty, huh? No. So here's a debate. Like, this is a little bit of a debate. the after major kind of disappointment, blah, blah, blah. You have Tony Finau, you have Jordan Spieth, who legitimately, this might be the best track. This might be the best track setup for anyone here. I think you can just draft anyone here and that's totally fine. There's no reason you don't have to follow ADP. This one specifically, let's go against the grain. You guys all know I'm never Spieth, but Jordan Spieth sets up for this track perfectly. And let's see if I can just show that course fit tool. That's not there. Let's see if I can do yeah, I'm gonna forget where I had that there, but basically their finishing positions. I'll get Jordan Spieth's finishing positions at this track here. I won't get to have it on screen. Sorry, I'll show you the draft here. But Jordan Spieth's course history at this course, we are looking at a in his last years, we're going to go from 2022 7th, 2nd, 10th. He dominates this track. So and then that's another thing, another conundrum that I wanted to lay out here. I see, a second here. My Wi-Fi is going down. You guys have to let me know if I'm lagging or not. I have the Wi-Fi bar symbol. So I actually have no idea. So yeah, you have to let me know if I'm lagging. I have the Wi-Fi bar symbol. Hopefully that goes away and hopefully we're good now. But cool. Thanks, Nez. Sam Burns, winner last year, 31st in 2019 as well. His form is probably the worst out of the tip top tier golfers here. So, and thank you for all that no lag. I just see it on my screen. I'm like going nuts. But but for me, I think this track sets up perfect for him. And he's one of the top golfers in the world. Top 25, top 20, wherever you want to put it. FedEx Cup champion a few years back. So do what you want there. Another thing here is coming very hot, Cam Davis. I thoroughly enjoy Cam Davis here. I think he sets up very, very well. Let me get his numbers. Cam Davis, we're looking at total driving for Cam Davis. Now, again, that's what I'm kind of looking at. He's looking at 77, but we're also looking at an around the green an approach of top 20 for Cam Davis for around the green, looking at 65 there. And then the putting is that. So he's basically a very spike week type player. He's been rounding into form a lot. Like his form has been and very well. So I'm labeling this guy as he's someone that I personally I'll be okay fading a little bit, but I don't want to have zero exposure to, if that makes sense. Versus again, if you're looking at course fits, Denny McCarthy here gets bumped up for me in my personal ranks to 12, as I can see he's sitting at 12. But I was like, I'm not going to take him there. I'm going to try and get a value there. I'm going to go with our boy Chris Kirk. Again, another great form here. Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing is the dude just smashes the ball. His skill set maybe doesn't again, if we're looking at specifically his skill set maybe doesn't look what we're looking at here. We're looking at approach. We don't need driving distance. We need accuracy, kind of putting. Go look at Cam Davis and we have driving distance as his number one thing. So it's interesting. That's the one I kind of want to put out there with Cam Davis. Guys like Cam Davis, guys like we look at Sam Burns. Let's just type in Sam Burns at Sam Ryder. Go look at Sam Burns. His form hasn't been the best. Obviously, he won the Dell Technologies match play, and then we kind of have a cut. We have a cuts there, and when he has been, it's just kind of been middling. This track sets up well for him, which is why I'm kind of back in on Sam Burns. And just look at that. This is exactly what we're looking for. The dude just puts the lights out. One of the best putters on tour. Another fun thing here. I'll look at bent grass. And if we're looking at Sam Burns on bent grass, he's 11th in the field. So Definitely, I'm buying Sam Burns, and I think it's a good price. Even at we're looking at RT got him here, but his ADP is right at 13. At the third round value, I'll be all over Sam Burns for this round one contest. Let's do what I was talking about before. Let's go straight down and let's take Bo Hostler, and we're going to grab guys in the 30s because I think that's very viable. We're going to queue up Andrew Putnam. We're gonna queue. We're gonna queue these guys up. These are all just guys I really like. I mean, I don't even have to get that far. I enjoy Taylor Moore sitting here. Guys in this middle range that I haven't really covered. Tom Hoagie may be one of the streakiest golfers in golf. He's just very streaky in terms of his form. Again, just to give you a visual, like when he's hot, but when he's cold, he is cold as North Dakota winters. I know, fun. But let's look at this. Cut T59. We got T3rd cut, like T14. He went on that amazing stretch during the Tour Championship and in the fall stretch here where he just shot the lights out. I'm pretty sure the Players is when he literally set the course record. So if you take that where he went near 9, it could have been 9 to 11 under par. I forget what the par was, but he set the course record. And that's going to be an outlier in there. Otherwise, he's just been kind of streaky. So it's really interesting. Let's check out Luke Donald here. First of all, yeah, I love how we're checking out Luke Donald, the 45-year-old Luke Donald, soon to get his. I see how you're making me miss my pick here. I'm doing the RT on everyone in the lobby. We're gonna take Andrew Putnam. Again, I like the way that this shapes up. You're just getting instantly unique. So yeah. His form hasn't been great. I'm gonna go with that's a troll. And I'm a silly person for looking that up. So I appreciate you, Robert, for making me do that. But yeah, let's see here. I think if we have the ability, I'm going to try and attempt to do a 12-man. If any of you want to join, that's hilarious. I'm trying to scroll. I'm gonna try a sandbagger, folks. If anyone wants to get in here, we got 5. So this very well may happen here. If it's not all you sickos in there already, join in, make this go. Yeah, if there's any specific things you guys want me to cover, kind of how anything else, this is kind of how I cover round 1. It's the most variant of the rounds. It's the most random of the rounds. It's just hard to cover because a lot of the content and the stuff you're getting is for the full round tourneys, full 4 rounds with the cut. Here it does not matter. Just who's the highest scorer on there? Who's the first round leader? Again, using sportsbook odds, very, very handy thing to do. Cross-referencing, I think that's very wise. Just to see who has the most odds. You can even make rankings off that. That's something that I think is very. It's again, irons in the fire. We can make it easier for you guys, and I can show that on screen. But something that is very handy to cross-reference to just if you're looking at projections of any sort. Let's go with. Let's do it again. Let's just do it again and let's have some fun. And I love the fact that you sickos came in here and helped me fill this. Hope, appreciate it. Okay, again, alliteration. Is it Fornan? And either way, appreciate you being in there. Probably already in there, but all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this long one here. And then we'll cut out because I know we got ship chasing coming in like an hour and a half or something like that. We don't need a long sicko, super long stream here, but give you the kind of the recap or the overview of how I approach these slates. Gotcha. Okay, dude, my cat is just going nuts. But if you can get over there, but yeah, so. These contests are going to be really fun because this is when you're going to be going into my like bottom of the barrel scrapers that I like to put into my lineups. And it just suits me because I'm already comfortable with these guys to begin with. So I think another fun thing that we can do maybe is let's try this out. Maybe So here's round 1. And let's check the winner. And can we get their ADP? All right. So the winner followed basically suit here. Oh, do we get their pick? Oh, that sucks. We get their ADP, which is fun. So we get to see nothing out ordinary. So this is where he kind of jumps to that 28 range. It could just be his rankings, but he jumps to that 28 range. He jumps to that 30 range. He jumps to that 32 range. Same thing here. It's just these I mean, Adam Scott, 27. So he jumped to that 32 range and he just jumped back to a guy that he had in his rankings. Got to be all right. So I love Max this week. I mean, he's just been in really good form, even besides what happened. I mean, the PGA Championship was just a disaster, just tough weather out there. And then just came out and had a real tough last round. But if this isn't a Max track, I don't know what is. My dude. Hey. So let's go and see if we can check out another. That's a late slate. So I don't want to let's check out this Byron Nelson here. I think it's fun just to see where these leaders and kind of like how far are they dipping down. So at the end, we got a 5, we got a 7. So I'm assuming that's near the turn there. Following it perfect. Jumps down to 27, jumps down to 33, jumps down to 35. Okay, that's fun. Check out the second place. 5, jumps down to 7, 14, 25, 30, and 35. All right. Now let's check another one. Xander at 4, JT at 9, Hatton at 16, dips down to, so I mean, that kind of follows suit. I mean, that one just kind of follows suit. Yes. I mean, that one, there's still going to be guys in that range. And he just said, no, give me the 34.9. So that's fun. That one kind of followed like the way ADP aboard would kind of go. 4, 11. I like that. See, he just jumps up there. See, it's things you can do that. You can take a guy at the 2-3 turn, bump him up to the 1-2 turn. It's as simple as that. Completely viable. You're not foregoing any projection like you are in NBA. It's just, that's the one thing I have to ingrain in my mind. Is just as uncomfortable it is, it's totally viable. We jumped to Sahith there at 15. Corey Connors at 23. So a little bit of value there. So yeah, that one's just following rankings, kind of as you would for round 1. Let's see what Freezer did. Kirk 32, Taylor Moore 29. So following rankings there. Mexico Open. Yeah, you can see sense a pattern with my round 1. That's not the late slate. I love late slates. I love condensed on the clock here. Almost got Denny in the second round, which have been very fun. Let's do Kurt. Let's do Kurt. Sets up well here, and I mean he's just solid all around. I mean, the one thing that this golf course does play to is just kind of just anyone's golf course. It's that second shot, and obviously the Spieth Magic probably sets up the best. But our boy RKFD, shout out! Look at this! Look at this glorious win here when the prize pools were 3K. A little bit of overlay, so that's probably. I mean, that's why they dipped down at least. Not saying why he won, but look, I mean, he littered the leaderboard up there. My man, shout out. Give it where it is. Give it where it is. I love that. Let's see what he did here. He went Tony Finau at 2, then Maverick McNeely at 11. I mean, it kind of follows ADP 13. Okay, love it. Eric Cole 31 ADP. Andrew Putnam 28 ADP. So and it's just a perfect way to build. And I sense a theme in these round 1s. You can. The guys that then I wonder if we got to round 2 and I didn't play it here. That's round 2 late. You could basically see the guys that did well that were these late ADPs are now thrusted up on round 2, and you have to make the decision. Were they hot on the putter? Were they actually just ball striking it tee to green? Like, were they ball striking it, hitting it well tee to green, around the green was well, approach as well, everything like that? Like, what strokes were they doing well and went out with, and that's what we'll get into tomorrow. But it's this round one where you can just really take advantage of people just cluster, just going to this cluster of ADP, and they're like, oh, it has to be these guys are going to be the scorers. It's like, even first round odds have some guys down in those 30 range that they like. So yeah, the late slate has been good. So as we see the Wells Fargo late slate there, the late slate there. So it's mainly just these late slates, and there was another one there. I hope they keep them coming because they're really, really fun. Let's continue to check out. So it's the Masters late slate, but let's look at just the Masters round one because I didn't do well in the big tournament. Look at it. Shout out Rydock. Shout out Sam, as you can see here. John Rahm, who would have known? What is he double bogeys this is round one, right? Yeah, so he double bogeys the first and then just comes out lights out. Hilarious. I mean, look at that. Look at that scoring compared to what you got at the master scoring to what you got at the PGA Championship was like 24. You're like, oh my God, 24 points. Let's go. Goes down to Vic Day. Okay. That's kind of an ADP. Does he even cut it, or is that ADP? An ADP? So he just kind of goes with his rankings and just gets the best golfer. So like there's different ways to play it. That's why I think building a portfolio of lineups where you're going with ADP or your rankings and it follows suit, or doing what I've done in these other ones where I'll go down and from pick round 3, I'll do a Bo Hostler and then Andrew Putnam and Ches Reavie. I think that's totally viable. And getting those combination of those people over and over again gives you that better shot to first. And you can just see in your drafts what users are doing that. And it's the badged up users, the sharp people that if you are not in these streets a lot, you'll see them. Cowboys is in here, RT99, DMC, JPB is a name in here. I know he crushes on DK too. Sam, like these guys employ these strategies. You can see this. It's not just me coming up with it. So let's see here. Oh boy, Sep. I'm going to go with Benny on. I'm going to go with Benny on there, and let's see what we get back. I mean, if I had my rankings here, it would basically be the guys that I have in the rounds 30, ranked up from 28 to 40. They would just be sitting at the top of this queue because I just put them up there to remind myself to get uncomfortable and draft these guys. Again, shout out if you haven't missed this, check out Tozeg and Tambo on Twitter, where you can get kind of a first look and just get you can see they'll talk about all these golfers in there if you want a fun little read. Get rid of that. I can't wait for, I guess I can pull up here best ball. Looks like we got, I think it's 9 on the Albatross, 29 on the Albatross returns, with a lot in second and third that I hope that are going to get over that threshold. A lot. If I just go through, yeah, there's a lot, and I see with these silver and bronze that I continue to go through that I checked that were like over 530, kind of 535, which I'm hoping that range is kind of around there. And then of course, got my one bullet in that warm up. Let's see what I haven't even checked that. Scotty, Cam Smith. Yeah, that's chalk. That's chalk if I've ever seen it, but we'll take it. We'll take it. It's 1 in the warm up. Look at that. It's literally the guys that I passed over last time. So I wonder why these sharps are passing over guys like this. And it's nothing. I like Minwoo too. It's just like, I wonder why. I mean, I actually do like Minwoo. Let's do not Michael Block. Let's take Minwoo. I actually enjoy Minwoo. I don't understand this. We're looking at, if I'm looking at it correctly, for Minwoo Lee. Is it a horde course fit? I mean, he shoots the lights out putting, and he has been putting great. Good around the green. His approach, So his approach, now that's where they'll drag you down. So that is 100. Yeah, he's near last in the field for approach. But total driving is so if the key for Minwoo Lee this week is if he can keep his approach numbers where it's not just shooting him out of the tournament, that's where he can play well. That's where you have to understand that, because the dude is 29th off the tee, which we don't care about, but total driving 26th. Distance is 7th, so I mean it's going to help him in a way, even though he's going to be clubbing down. But then we're looking at around the green of 31, putting 9th. Let me just bring up here specifically kind of how Minwoo is doing on this little. I guess we can pull it up here too. That'd be smart. He does definitely driving distance, but I think it's basically if this was if weighted more towards accuracy, but the fact that you want accuracy and you want approach, it hurts. But so if he's not putting the lights out and he's just losing strokes here, yeah, very bad fit. So it does make sense. That's a good shout. It's a good shout. And I'm gonna have to go with Chris Quigley. Are you for non? Are you for not? I mean, is it? I mean, I have to put that 2 and 2. I have so many names that come through with a YouTube chat, but yeah, no, that's a good shout, and that's a good thing to know right away. And you can kind of see that just with the way the market. Yeah, okay, good to know. The way the market dictates that. So, but I'm fine with that in a long tournament. Like, I don't know, I'm fine with that. But it's good to know in hindsight, that's a guy I don't want to get overweight to. Because I definitely don't want to have zero Minwoo. Personally, I don't. I think it's totally viable that you can. There's definitely, I mean, I think fading players is probably the right thing to do. There are guys that may be fading specifically. If I go look at like rankings real quick, just off rankings right here. If there's anyone that I'm fading, I would say like in this top. I'm not fading anyone at this top range. Maybe if I have to pick one for a fade, it's Cam Davis, even though I was talking about like his course fit again, probably wouldn't fit that well here. When I get down here, Russell Henley for me, just not going to be doing it. I'm not going to be doing Russell Henry. Eric Cole's an interesting one, although he's been hot recently. Let's go with Dylon. It's Dylan, I know, but Lashley's fun. Justin's fun. Kevin Tway is interesting. Kevin Tway, if there's a track to play Kevin Tway, it's probably in Texas. Sam Stevens is fun. Donald. So there's a lot of options, especially in these 9-mans. That's what I'll say there. Definitely a lot of options. Lingworth will put in there. I mean, how long if I want to. I mean, I could start really clicking a lot of people, but that's getting, I wouldn't even say thin, but it's interesting. Let's check out Hope's team. Yeah, I love it, Sam. I love it with Cam Davis, especially in these. Like it makes it hard to stomach giving up the value because you obviously have a big tier break and just total overall golfer ability. When you get down to these, course fit may be better, but the Postman, Akshay, Hodges, Lashley, love it. Yeah, so like I think it sets up well, and just if you have projections to anything, if you have a combo, check that out. Check their golf package. Check out the free videos that they have just in general on anything. You can kind of get a general feeling towards how the sentiment is. You can check DK salary, first round odds again. But as I make this last pick here, we're going to be rounding up as we're reaching that hour mark. Basically, we're going to be back tomorrow. Hopefully, it's when we get these contests out, and when I have a little bit of research done. So maybe around the same time, maybe 6:30. 7, 8, somewhere around then. We'll let you know. Going to be doing round 2. You'll see how I actually employ data golf, free resource anyone can do, and how you can do that. Those are my favorite rounds. I will caveat. This was just a lot of stat stuff, yada yada. I can actually show you a way to. Let's do Sam Stevens. Do I want to do Sam Stevens, or do I want to do Robbie Shelton? guy that's not, you know what? Michael Kim. And you guys are just sitting here like, this dude just naming names. Yeah. Again, so when we get to the tomorrow, and we can look at the just how I go about things, and the kind of basically give you away my process. You can copy it, do it away. You can just saw my results. It works sometimes, it doesn't some other times. But I think it's very viable, and especially in these draft style formats when no one's providing content. There's definitely, you can jump in here. There's money to be won, and there's no other contest going on. So with that being said, I appreciate everyone joining. We're going to be doing these tomorrow. I'll let you know officially when the time comes, but I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Yeah, everyone, peace out.